All right. So who am I looking to help here, right? So this is for the home buyers. This is how to buy your dream home for less than market value and get a great deal in this market by joining the Home Buyer Success Academy, right? And just real quick, just want to show some of the success stories that we've had with the Home Buyer Success Academy. This is usually, just going from rent to welcome home. And this one's for the first time home buyers, right? I've helped out tons of first time home buyers. It's always a daunting process. You feel so lost. Everything's very overwhelming. Had a couple of clients that I had put them through the Home Buyer Success Academy, and there's been, a smooth process. They know what to expect. Any issues that arise, they know me and my team are just a phone call away. This is bidding war, right? We helped the Chin win a bidding war. Lost several bidding wars. Some of you remember during the time in COVID when everything was priced high and you were getting bid out on everything. Looking 6+ months. They're hopeless about finding a home in the school district that they wanted for their kids. Ran them through the Home Success Buyers Academy program, and we beat out 6 other offers. Ended up getting their dream home, and we were not even the highest bidder. So it's not always about just finding the perfect house. It matters about the strategy and how the offer is written. Head out the way here. So it's just about how it's written, crafting an offer that listing agents, respect because they know it's coming from our team and able to get the sellers to accept any conditions that we may have. And it just goes to show you that, our reputation gets our offer a second look sometimes. Let's go to the next slide here. So lots of times we do come across people who have a luxury house, right? This is the luxury downsize. Dr. Reed had an estate for quite a number of years. Obviously, that comes with a lot of maintenance. And over time, it kind of gets to be a lot as you start, being there longer, getting older. So they're looking to get into the condo market, find a luxury condo. So ran them through our program, Home Buyer Success Academy. We started looking around. We ended up getting a top floor unit in a high-rise downtown area, with all the concierge services that they wanted, panoramic views, no more maintenance for them. The difference is, we don't find luxury homes. We just understand that lifestyle shifts, right? So we end up coordinating the sale of her house with the purchase of the new one to make sure everything lined up perfectly. That way they really didn't have to worry about temporary housing at all. Made it just a seamless process for them. 10-day relocator. Mark got called for a new job, had to be there in 2 weeks. I viewed a whole bunch of properties for him virtually. Sometimes I would FaceTime him, walk him through the house, anything he wanted to see, front yard, backyard, living spaces, everything, garage, everything. Ended up doing it virtually, coordinated everything with the title company and attorneys. He flew in, picked up the keys, took care of everything, and he was ready to go in just 10 days. So the Home Buyer Success Academy does have a lot to offer. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or a seasoned buyer, there's a lot of things that you may not know. So again, who's this for, right? So you're a home buyer who's looking to buy a dream home for the best bang for your buck, but you feel either overwhelmed or intimidated. Home buyer with bad credit or little credit with no cash for a down payment. If you want to build equity in your personal net worth, buy for less than home market value that meets your budget. If you're looking to buy a home in a safe, preferred neighborhood, whether it's school districts, you want to be by close to downtown, specific shops, stuff like that. If you're actively searching online, but you need advice from an experienced agent, also access to exclusive listings not commonly found online. Very important. Or if you have a fear of overpaying or working with a dishonest agent that's looking for a quick commission check. You search online, but you're unable to find a home that fits your criteria and budget. You've worked with an agent that you don't trust before, and you've worked with an agent that's not responsive and lacks clear communication. You want full disclosures at all times for all documents. You want to be given the heads up about important changes to housing regulations and mortgage rules. You want to be advised of realistic expectations to buying a home and dislike last minute changes. So now here's a little bit about me. I've been in the business for over 8 years, depending on when you're watching this. In 2024, my team has closed over $156 million in sales volumes. That's over 256 transactions closed. Right before COVID, I was agent of the month at my previous broker. Some of you in Southwest Florida, which is where I live, there's a show that they have called Southwest Florida Out and About, where it shows houses, waterfront properties, typically houses in high desirable areas. So you may have seen me on there if you ever tuned into the show. More so about me, before I was an agent, I was in your shoes and I was over it trying to buy a house. I know it's a daunting process. I spent months and months looking at houses. First house that my wife and I bought was a nightmare. We ended up doing a post-occupancy closing, letting them stay in the house after we closed for a couple weeks, and it's just a nightmare when we got in the house. So I was always just wondering kind of why certain bases weren't covered, or best properties always felt out of reach. So, traditional real estate was not working, or at least it didn't work for me. It was broken. Most agents just recycled the same pitch, with the same lackluster results. I knew there had to be a better way to find value. So I ended up getting licensed. I built a solution I wish I had. It's pulling strategies from outside the industry and blending them with a deep educational approach. So I created the Homebuyer Success Academy. So my goal isn't just to provide a service for you, it's to give you the blueprint to win every single time. Helping you secure an under market deal. It's not just my job, but it's my mission. So let's kind of give a brief little overview of what you can expect from the Homebuyer Success Academy program. So the truth is, it's not your fault, right? There's a lot of information online, and it's normal to feel confused. The truth is that in life, if you do what everyone else is doing, you're going to get the same results as them. In the real estate market, most people do not find great deals all the time because of this. You need to do something different if you want to win. You can absolutely find a good deal without overpaying that fits your budget and criteria, even in a crazy market. This is also considering you may not know all the details about the real estate market and how to hack it to source the best deals. The only way to do this is to understand the real estate process yourself in a way other home buyers do not. This way, you will always have the upper hand and the advantage to find the best deals. Now, this process can be hard, but we are dedicated to helping solve this very particular problem for home buyers and sellers across the area. Since we're the only people operating the Home Buyer Success Academy in the market, no one else is suited to helping solve this. We're on a mission to change as many lives as possible through our work. So the golden question: how do you actually go about finding the best deal in the market? Well, there's a step-by-step process, which I'll reveal next. So let's start with step one. You got to decide what, my big head out the way. So you have to decide whether you're ready to buy a home, right? A lot of people start the process without any guidance. They don't really know what to do and how to do it. This leads to frustration, anxiety, and confusion about the biggest purchase in your life. The best way to start is to consider the factors that dictate whether or not you're ready to purchase a home. If you do this correctly, and you know that these factors make sense, you will have far less stress, make more profit, and overall be much more satisfied with your home buying process. Here's some of these key factors you should always consider when you're ready to buy a home. Income and employment status, right? So your lender is going to want to see your work history, usually about going 2 years back, to ensure stable and reliable income. If you're on payroll, then you just need to provide your pay stubs and tax returns. If you're self-employed, they will request other documents from you. So liquid assets, right? Buying a home with no money down is possible, but most homeowners need to have some cash for a down payment. The amount of money you'll need for a down payment depends on your loan type and how much money you want to borrow. Some FAQs for this section, common questions we typically get are, what's the score I need to qualify for a home loan? At the time of this recording, most lenders require a score of at least 620 to qualify for majority of the loans. A score above 720 will generally get you the very best loan terms, but this can vary. This will vary. The higher your score, the better. The second question we get, how are credit scores based? Well, typically it's based on payment history. If you make on-time payments, the amount of money you owe, having too much debt can be bad for your credit. The length of your credit history, the types of credit you've used, and your pursuit of new credit, opening new lines of credit. So step 2. After you do all that, then you can see what you can actually get. So in business and life in general, time is money. Most people waste lots of precious time finding homes and searching for real estate that they may not even qualify for. If you do not know what you can actually afford, you will likely cause yourself a lot of stress and frustration from the wasted time and unmet expectations. Furthermore, it could also prevent you from winning offers. The best way to see what you can actually get is to get pre-approved from a lender to see your purchasing power. When you apply, your lender will give you a pre-approval letter that states how much you're approved for based on your credits, assets, and income. You can show your pre-approval letter to your real estate agent so they can help you find homes within your budget. A pre-approved mortgage lets you know how much money you can afford. A pre-approved mortgage lets you know how much you can afford, what interest rates will be, and what your monthly mortgage payments will be. So some of your mortgage options, right? Big banks or a mortgage broker. This graph will be able to give you an accurate representation as to where to go. You can tally up the scores on this and see the best fit for yourself. It all comes down to knowing your options and choosing what's best for your unique situation. I don't know how well that comes out. These are about terms or issues here. You can always pause this to kind of go through it and blow it up. Don't spend too much time on it here. To the next slide. So your mortgage options. This right here. Fixed versus variable rates. So depending on your situation, your fixed rates, they're usually higher, but they have guarantees, right? That's your rate for the term of the loan until you decide to refinance. The variable rate, it's lower, but there's no guarantee. So if you're a young family with kids, or in general have more liabilities and expenses, it will give you that reassurance and peace of mind knowing that for the next 3 years or 5 years, you'll have a fixed rate. And you'll know exactly how much your mortgage payments will be. The 5 key factors of a credit score. When was the last time you checked your credit score? And how does it affect the kind of mortgage you get with prime lenders who offer the lowest rates? Under 600 is usually the lowest cutoff, but don't panic if that might be you. As long as you can understand credit score, you can know how to build it back up. Some of the things banks typically look for, like I said before, the payment history, credit utilization, age of credit history, credit inquiries, total number of accounts. And then what's a plan B, right? So let's say the big or the A lenders, big banks turn you down. There are other options for alternative lenders, which includes the B lenders, and private lenders, which are the C lenders. But you can also use co-signers, typically a spouse or a partner whose income is used to help you qualify, and they will also be on the title of the property. A guarantor backs up somebody taking out the loan and agrees to take over payments in case you cannot afford it anymore. When the time comes, we can have the discussion to discuss what we can do together to get you that mortgage approval. So some of the FAQs for step 2. What does the pre-approval process involve? Your income, your assets, and credit check. What if I don't get pre-approved? You can approach alternative or private lenders. Rates are typically higher since the risk is higher for the lender. You can always get a cosigner. So cosigners are typically your spouse, where they're going to use their income to help you qualify, and they will be on the title of the property. Or you can get yourself a guarantor. That's someone who will back up taking out the loan, and they will take over payments just in case you can't afford them. But it's always best to consult an agent to see the best for pre-approval. Step 3, finding the right real estate agent. This is where most home buyers go wrong. They choose the wrong agent. The truth is that you can do everything right, but if you mess up this part, you could easily find yourself in a bad deal that can haunt you for years to come. The new way is ideally to find an agent that is doing something different from every other agent. This way, you know that you won't just get the result of all the other people doing the exact same thing as you. Your real estate agent is your representative in the home purchase transaction. Your agent will look out for your best interest by finding a home that meets your criteria, get you showings, and help you write offers and negotiate. Now, these are some of the things you should look for when looking for an agent. Their experience. Check and see if they have previous happy clients. Their responsiveness. Remember, always check the amount of time it takes for them to get back to you, whether it's a text, phone call, or email. Their integrity. The agent should be aligned with your budget, neighborhood, and true home values. You should trust your agent to act in the best interest and help you make the right choice in such a large investment. And ask yourself, does the agent only care about a quick commission check? Do they have neighborhood knowledge? Do they know the overall economic knowledge? Does the agent have an understanding of the economy since it's directly tied to the housing sector and vice versa? Their attentiveness to you. Most successful real estate agents have multiple clients at any given time. What's most important is that your agent makes you feel like you're their only client. Their value proposition. Do they have one? Are they just offering what every other agent is offering? Or are they different? Some of the commonly asked questions in this step. Now, is it possible to purchase your home without a real estate agent? It absolutely is, but I would not recommend it, at least for first-time home buyers. Home buying process can be complicated and emotional. Having an agent by your side to help you navigate the housing market, submit a legally sound offer, and avoid overpaying for your property. Question 2, what is the agent you hire responsible for? So your agent will show you properties, write an offer letter on your behalf, and assist in negotiations. Your agent can also assist on how much to offer for the property. The agent's role has a fiduciary duty to the client and will always work in your best interest. Question 3. How can you find the right agent? Extensive research. An agent that provides value to you and showcases expertise. An agent that isn't afraid to guarantee risk reversal on your end. And question 4, does it cost me anything? That is a very common misconception. It's expensive in most cases. It is absolutely free to work with a real estate agent as a buyer. This should always be a non-negotiable for any buyer, in my opinion. The last thing you want is to have someone else get a better deal because they were working with an agent, whereas you end up overpaying. Step 4. Start house hunting. When you house hunt, you don't want to make the same mistakes most home buyers make. A lot of home buyers do not have the skills set to correctly dictate whether a property is actually good or not. This can include choosing the wrong neighborhood, overlooking flaws, or making critical decisions to get the best deal. This can make or break the real estate buying process, and you do not want to make this mistake. To succeed in house hunting, you need a real estate agent that will help you hunt for houses but also educate you. A lot of agents fail this step. This way you can stay within budget that meets your criteria and also get a great deal. It's a good idea to make a list of your top priorities. An agent also can get you access to properties you may not otherwise see online. Some of these include, foreclosures, FSBOs, which is known as for sale by owners, expireds, and exclusive deals. What are the negotiables and what are the non-negotiables, right? What are some of your must-haves that you have to have when you purchase the house, and what are your absolute deal breakers? You want to look for a home that will meet your needs, not just for today, but probably in the next 5 to 10 years in the future. So next we'll cover some things to consider when house hunting. Location. Do you want to live downtown, in the suburbs, or do you like more space in a rural environment? Do you want to live close to work, certain school district, recreational facilities, parks or public transit? Is there a specific neighborhood you prefer to be in? The size. How many bedrooms and bathrooms do you need? Do you need space for a home office or extra storage? Do you need a garage? How many car garages do you need? Some special features. Obviously, do you require an air conditioner? Obviously, in Florida, yes. Swimming pool, hot tub, things like that. Is it important that your home be environmentally friendly? Do you need a green home? Your lifestyle also. Are you planning to have children? Do you have teenage children? Are you close to retirement age? Is it important that you live close to your family and friends? It's recommended to go even deeper than that and ask more questions. My personal tip would be to consult with someone who does this for a living. So some questions over the stuff we covered. What are some of the things to consider when shopping for a home? The price, square footage, how much space do you need, the home condition and possible need for repairs. If you need access to public transportation, bedrooms, bathrooms, do you need a big backyard, swimming pool? You want to be close to local entertainment options, certain school district, property value trends. Do you want to be somewhere where the property value is always consistently going up? Is real estate taxes and property taxes a concern for you? So question 2, who decides which property is right for you? Well, ultimately you do. Your agent can only give you recommendations. Question 3, how many homes should you see before you decide which one you want to make an offer for? It will always depend on you. You may want to see plenty of homes before you make an offer, or you may see that first home and fall in love. But, the more the better, then you can always go back and narrow it down. Question 4, can I just find a home online? Yes, and you should be involved as much as possible in the home buying process. But it is a joint effort, however, and it is the duty of the agent to provide you with exclusive deals such as off-market properties, homes not listed online, distressed foreclosures, and in general, great deals. So next, step 5, making an offer on a house. When making an offer, many home buyers make mistakes which can lead them to missing out on a great deal. Let me move my head out the way. Sometimes an extra $50 per month payment could lead to tens of thousands of dollars in equity gain over several years. A lot of buyers don't understand this process, as the offer submission process requires skills, experience, and understanding of how to win. The best way to succeed in the offer submission process is to use an experienced real estate agent who can help you with an offer letter. An offer letter must be submitted in writing after touring and looking at the properties that you like. The offer letter contains several key parts such as the date, subject, and price. The date, the completion date, the conveyance happens here, funds to the seller and title are transferred to your name. The possession date, the day that you get your keys and you move in. Adjustment date, the day-to-day things like property taxes, your strata fees are adjusted by your notary lawyer or, in the States here, your title company. Subjects are put in place to protect the buyers. Usually 5 to 7 days to meet the requirements of these subjects in place, like subject to financing. Once we get the pre-approval, the bank gives you the formal pre-approval before you remove subject. It's always important to get a professional home inspection. Another subject can be the title search. Is it a clean property, or is there any covenants, easements, liens, lawsuits attached to the property? We also need to get a property disclosure statement, which is a multiple choice questionnaire that's filled out by the seller to the best of their knowledge on what they know about their property. For townhomes and condos, this will be in a strata document or an HOA disclosure document. Extra items you want in the purchase, such as windows, coverings, or appliances. Next is the price. So based on the market supply, market demand, and where the market is right now. Is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? During the time of purchase, we will decide the best price and have a more in-depth conversation to offer so we minimize chances of losing out on your dream home. Most offers also contain a small deposit. The deposit typically is 1 to 2% of the purchase price, but I have seen higher. Deposit goes towards the down payment if you decide to purchase the home. So whatever money you put down, that will be added into those funds. The negotiation stage. So the seller can always respond in one of three ways. They can accept the offer. If the seller accepts the offer, we move on to the next step. They reject the offer. So if the seller rejects your offer, the ball is back in your court. You can choose to submit another offer, or you can move on to another home. Or they give you a counter offer. The seller can also come back with a counter offer of their own. They may change the purchase price or the terms of the sale. You can accept the counter offer, reject it, or make another counter offer. Multiple offer situations. So when there's competition with other buyers, all submitting offers, the one most suitable for the seller wins. So my recommendation, always go with our best foot forward and remove any subjects and adjust the offer to where it needs to be. This can be done by pricing adjustments, dates, or subjects. It's important to get an agent with experience in multiple offer situations so you can get the best deal when buying your dream home, as an agent will have done this many times. Some of the FAQs. Can you cancel after agreeing for the home sale? You can, but would typically lose your deposit unless you are within your inspection period. So who writes the offer letter? Your agent will write the offer letter on your behalf. How long can negotiations go on for? It depends and varies. These can be very quick, or they can go back and forth for quite some time. Let your real estate agent help you manage negotiations. Don't be afraid to walk away if you can't reach an agreement. All right, this gets us to our final step. Close the sale. Congratulations. You made it to the final step of the process. So when the time comes, a lot of home buyers can make mistakes and end up confused and spending more time than they should on fees and expenses. This is because the closing process is complicated and requires a lot of legal paperwork and has closing costs. It is best to consult with a real estate agent who has helped close many deals in the past and has experience with seamless and easy closing process. We're almost at the finish line, so we will make sure we have all of our boxes checked. When you go through the closing process and complete it successfully with the guidance of a real estate agent, you'll be much more confident you made the right choice, as you have eliminated a lot of the variables for failure in the journey. The peace of mind, excitement, and happiness you'll get from moving into a new home is one that happens very few times. This is when you also make sure you review your closing disclosure. This is when you make sure you review your closing disclosure, which will outline the terms of the purchase price and your financing. So all your final closing costs, any outstanding charges or fees included in your loan. Typically, your lender will send this disclosure to you at least 3 days before closing for review. So during closing, the property title will pass from the seller to you. A closing agent will oversee this process, which typically takes place at a title company, management firm, escrow office, or your home, depending on the situation. The closing agent will ensure that all necessary parties are present in closing. The agent acts as a mediator between you, the seller, and confirms that all required documents are signed. Once all documents have been signed, the agent will ensure that all funds, including closing fees and escrow payments, are paid and properly dispersed. During closing, you have two major responsibilities. Signing legal documents. This includes your closing disclosure, the promissory note, the deed of trust, and the certificate of occupancy. Paying the closing costs. This may include fees for your lawyer if you have any, or notary, title transfer, adjustment costs, home inspection costs, appraisal costs, and taxes. Your taxes will most always likely be prorated. Possession date, right? You're all done. You've made it to the finish line. So now it's just welcome home. So quick checklist. Some of you have, if you've purchased a house before, you kind of know. First time home buyers, this is a good thing for you as well. Get out the way. Make arrangements for that moving date, right? Check all the rules and laws, especially if you're moving into a deed restricted area, HOA, or a condo. Start switching over accounts and services. Update and inform people and companies of your new address so they can start forwarding mail. Get your driver's license and IDs changed. Get mail forwarding from your previous address and change your mailing address, obviously. Other monthly costs to budget for. We also use private mortgage insurance. So if you put less than 20% down on a property, you must pay a mortgage default insurance premium, which ranges from 2.8 to 4%, depending on the size of your down payment. It's paid monthly throughout the entire lifetime of your mortgage. 2, HOA fees. How much does it cost to place you're moving at to be in the homeowners association? Your property taxes, your utilities, your electric and water, internet, homeowners insurance. And also, deeper look into, while we're talking about property taxes, these will typically range by area, but typically can be $1,500 to $4,000 plus, depending on your home's property value. Since the property tax rate is applicable to each thousand of taxable assessed home value, which they do yearly by the government, you must divide the assessed value of the property by $1,000. Next, multiply that number by the property tax rate for your property class to determine your property taxes. Maintenance on your ongoing repairs. It's important to budget also for repairs as things tend to happen. So it's important to understand costs for things like appliances, heating, leakages, roof, stuff like that. It's important to have a good strata or home insurance, as many of these can be subsidized. Special assessments. If your property is in an area that is in need of repair or infrastructure changes that directly benefits your property, such as new sewer lines, or if a road needs to be paved, improvements to the area, things like this, these assessments are separate from regular property taxes. A couple of things too. Did you know there are some very useful programs for home buyers in Florida? One of the ones being Florida Hometown Heroes Housing Program. These are lower than market first mortgage rates and down payment assistance of up to 5%. The down payment assistance is 0% interest and 30-year deferred second mortgage. But it also must be repaid when the home is sold, refinanced, or no longer the primary residence. Another program is called Florida Assist. It offers up to $10,000 in down payment assistance as a 0% interest deferred second mortgage. No monthly payments are required, and repayment is deferred until the home is sold, or the first mortgage is refinanced, or the borrower moves out. The Florida Homeship Loan Program also provides up to $10,000 in down payment assistance, but at a 3% interest rate with monthly payments over a 15-year term. The debt is factored into the borrower's debt to ratio income. So I know we covered a lot, right? So in this training, we went over a lot of information on the home buying process. This included the steps to purchase a home, including common mistakes and pitfalls most home buyers make. We covered how to get a great deal and why most home buyers never achieve extraordinary results, because they are essentially doing the same thing as the other home buyers and they're competing. We've covered some of the special programs and incentives in place to get the absolute best deal possible. But here's the truth. This is only a small part of the entire home buying journey. We would be here all day for hours and hours if we broke down the entire process. There's many more smaller and detailed pieces that are missing from this, as frankly, it would be too long of a presentation. To ensure you get the best deal in the market, first option is to find the right agent yourself, right? Look for another agent that's experienced, trustworthy, aware of the market trends, responsive, and attentive, right? They want to treat you as their only client and has good overall economic knowledge. You'll waste hours of your time interviewing and finding the right agent. You can try to purchase a home yourself, but however, it isn't recommended, especially for home buyers. The home buying process can be complicated and emotional. Having an agent by your side can help you navigate the housing market, submit a legally sound offer, and avoid overpaying for your property. Many agents may not even know about the exclusive programs and grants available, so you miss out on the best deal. And most importantly, most agents just offer the exact same thing all the other agents offer. This is what you want to avoid. Only do this if you're trying to get the same average results as everyone else. But what you need is probably something different. Option 2, you can work with us and our team. You can hire us to represent you, and you'll also get access to our VIP Home Buyer Success Academy. This is the only way to guarantee success in this market, because this is something completely new and different, and only a very small handful of home buyers know about this. So our offer to you. I head out the way. Before, when you wanted to purchase a home, you would have to bank on finding the right realtor and bear all the risks. But now you can use our VIP Home Buyer Success Academy to purchase your dream home, eliminating any form of risk. So do you see how easy that is? Right? We have our dream home finder. We will send out mailers, we will cold call homeowners, and door knock in the area you're looking for if we cannot find what you're looking for in the MLS. Contractor Certified Program. Our licensed contractor ensures mandatory repairs are made correctly by the seller, so there's no additional cost to you. Our no obligation certificate. If for any reason you aren't satisfied with working with us, you're able to walk away, no strings attached. Essential services programs. Are you a police officer, firefighter, teacher, healthcare worker, or a military veteran? If so, you may qualify for thousands in savings through a free home appraisal and home warranty. You'll also get exclusive listings. You can get access to listings that are not found online, typically off-market listings or bank-owned properties, foreclosures, for sale by owners. And then we also have proprietary data access. Get exclusive access to data of previous home sales in your area. And like I said, get access to our Home Buyer Success Academy training portal. Our biggest difference is that we operate our service like a program. We provide a course for our clients to self-educate themselves on getting the best deal. Although this is completely optional, we find that our agents get the absolute best deal when they're educated on the home buying process. This way we can double team and crush the competition for the home you deserve. Why us? You'll get access to our exclusive VIP Home Buyer Success Academy. You'll be able to find the best home that fits your criteria and budget fast. You can forget about other agents taking advantage of you for a quick commission check. You will feel relieved because we have a handheld educational approach towards working with our clients. We developed our Home Buyer Success Academy after having worked with many clients, taking inspiration from outside the industry. Many of our clients have used this program to start building their net worth and ultimately enjoy their dream home. We have a great network of resources available to you that will help you get the best deal on your next property purchase. We will help you get access to all the programs mentioned earlier in this training and walk you through the process step by step, ensuring you get the best deal. And we practice what we preach. So again, this is for if you're a home buyer who's looking to buy a dream home for the best bang for your buck but feeling overwhelmed and intimidated. 2, you're a homeowner with bad credit or little to no cash for a down payment. You want to build equity in your personal net worth. You want to buy for less than market value that meets your budget. You want to buy a home in a safe, preferred neighborhood, and whether that be closer to downtown, a certain school district, close to restaurants and shops, or you're actively searching online, but you need advice from an experienced agent, and also to exclusive listings not found online, or fear of overpaying or working with a dishonest agent that's looking for a quick commission check, or you've searched online but unable to find a home that fits your criteria and budget. You've worked with an agent that you don't trust, or you've worked with an agent that is not responsive and just lacks clear communication. Or you want full disclosure at all times for every document. You want to be given the heads up about important changes to housing regulation and mortgage rules. You want to be advised of realistic expectations to buying a home and dislike last minute changes. So book a call with me and my team to start your home buying process today. But before we get started, I just want to let you know that we only take on about 5 new clients per month. So you got to make sure you grab your spot, or we may not be able to work with you. And our motto is, we treat every client as if they're the only client, and we'll treat you as our only client as well, which is the reason why we only take on 5 new clients per month. And some of the exclusive bonuses that you can get, and since you've watched this video to the end, we're going to do something very special, right? So for a limited time, I'm going to offer you the VIP bonus package if you act now. What's included in the VIP bonus package? Access to the Homebuyer Success Academy online course training portal, plus the extra modules. You will get an exclusive Possession Day surprise homebuyer's gift basket. And you will get access to our VIP bonus package, right? This includes the Home Success Academy online course training portal, plus all the extra modules. You'll get an exclusive Possession Day surprise homebuyer's gift basket. Although it's not a surprise now, I'm telling you about it. You'll get access to our VIP networks. You'll get access to our exclusive network, which can be if you're looking for a home remodel project, so you need quick repairs. We have a network of contractors that we work with, that we trust. And you will get access to our VIP referral program as well. Now, some of you may be asking, will this work if I have bad credit? Yes. We just need to evaluate your credit score and see what the right options are for you. Will this work if I had little to no down payment? We will work with you to explore the different options. I will require more details about your situation. And are there any long-term contracts? Like I mentioned before, there's a no obligation certificate. If for any reason you aren't satisfied with working with me and my team, you are able to walk away, no strings attached at all. Well, like I said, the only thing left now is to just book a call. My information is coming up on the next slide here, and we can get started. We can get working for you today. And I appreciate you staying to the end to watch this video. I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.